Hello, 6 is receiving students and teachers. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, recapping on our previous lesson. Receiving students and class. Can somebody in the class, receiving students, you tell your teacher, tell me what you looked at yesterday. Can somebody in the class tell me what you looked at in our previous lesson? Good. Okay, let's have Victoria.
The acid dissolve.
Again, very good. The
acid dissolve.
seed dissolve. The seed dissolve. Okay, that's what she looked at in her group in the previous lesson. Anybody else? Receiving students, good. You are telling the teacher. Another one. Helen. Helen?
Clear or cloudy?
Clear or cloudy? Clear or cloudy? Okay, that was the activity that you did on clear or cloudy. Today we will go into something similar to that. Right, receiving students, I hope your beakers are ready or your glass jars are ready from the previous lesson. We are going to be looking at in this lesson. All right, receiving teachers, we are still on the same strand and the sub-strand and the learning outcome. Our topic for today, soil and water. And of course, this is lesson number 47. Soil and water. That is the one that you mixed in your previous lesson and left to settle down. You left it at the corner of your classroom somewhere. So today, our activity will be mainly based on that. Now, let us look at your activity instructions. Our activity there, what happened to the soil? Right, in your groups, you should have already collected a small amount of soil and added to some clear glass jar or clear plastic container. That would have been done, and water added together. After you stirred it, now you are going to observe and describe what has happened over this time, from the time you left it to now that you are about to observe it. Okay, that is what you are going to be doing. Now we have on screen a group that has left a jar, and they are going to be doing their observation on that particular jar. Receiving students, you should have something similar to the one that you can see on screen right now. All right, here with me I have the same experiment, but this time this experiment has been conducted using a beaker. Okay, it's the same experiment to the one you saw earlier. This has been left by one of the groups in the model class and left to stand over a period of time, and that is an example there that you can see on screen. right, class and the receiving students, this is what you are going to be doing today as your activity. Now that that jar has been there placed, you are going to do that activity. Okay, so you will be writing a little scientific report based on the activity. You describe that. Okay, so you put up your title there, and then you also list down the materials that were used. What materials were used? And you make diagrams of it. Over here, I just put down an example of how you should draw a diagram. You need not, or you do not need to draw the picture itself, but a diagram like this. So in this case, this is representing the container or the glass or the beaker. Okay, so that is the example of it. And then from there, you are going to put in labels according to what you can observe on your table. Then at the bottom, you are going to write the result, what happened. So I guess you are going to draw two of these. First, when you started, stirring it and leaving it to stay in a particular place, and another diagram will show now as it is. How did it look at first, and how it is looking like now, right now. And then you write down your result, and you write down why did it occur in that way. What do you think happened? So you are going to be writing that down in today's lesson. All right, class and receiving students, here I have two examples here. Two examples of how you can write a science report. But these examples were written by grade 5 students and they were written by grade 5 students. So these are just an example. The one I have here is looking at pendulum. Okay, so this grade 5 class, they looked at pendulum and they came up with this result. So their materials are there. They've got the list of materials and the result is there. And of course, what they did. So you will be doing something similar to this, and they also have their diagrams there and how they did that. And of course, what they did, and right at the bottom here is what they think happened. Okay, so that is an example of a report by some grade 5 students. Now, across on the other side, here, this is an example of a science report written by grade 4 students. Okay, so this is of a grade 4 student. And the student has written this and also has a diagram towards the bottom here. So you are going to be doing a similar type of report for this lesson. See if you can beat a grade 4 and a grade 5 report. Your guide has already been given to you. You will follow that guide and you are going to be writing down your report. With that, you may start. Class and receiving students, on screen you can see your guide there. Now, first, after you put down the materials, just try to think back. First, what did you do? How was the experiment, how the experiment was conducted? So you write down exactly what you did. Now, class and the receiving students, whatever you do, do not touch that container. Don't even stir it. And then you are supposed to write down what you can observe. So your report should start with how the experiment started, what actually happened, what did you do in your previous lesson, and what has happened now. Where it says how the experiment was conducted, you write down exactly what you did in the previous lesson. That is where you are going to put down how the experiment was conducted. After that, you draw your diagram. Now you are going to be drawing two diagrams. One, the same diagram, but one you label it as before and another one after. when drawing your diagrams, you should have a diagram showing before and after. So on screen you can see only one diagram there. You should have two diagrams, one showing before and another showing after. Don't forget to label your diagrams. Right, class and the receiving students, it's good to see that most of you are thinking very hard to write down your reports. Right, you will complete that for homework, and in our next lesson, we will look at what you have taken down when we recap. Sorry for today. Now, our key phrase for today is soil and water. Next lesson, and the materials needed for the next lesson are as follows. With that, thank you very much, 6Es and receiving students, and have a nice day with your teacher.